nemesis of a firefighter. Arsonist, I'm a fire rider. Instant flame like a firelighter. So special with shows, I live out my flows. Can't walk in my shoes, can't purchase my clothes. Ice in my veins, but I never froze. Picture perfect, but I never pose. As a juvenile, I knew I bounced back. Got rated, had a plan to get my ounce back. Use cheese as bait, that's a mousetrap. Let me to the right person to pounce at. They selling dreams, I'm pulling receipts. Full force, we can't be beat. Got a dirty mouth, but the flow so neat. Keep your 2 cents, talk is cheap.
You are now tuned into the Boxing Bros. I'm Caden, and I'm here with my co-host. But first, I got a call from Dollar Bill. He's going to try to make an appearance later on in the show. So be on the lookout for that if he can. I'm here with my co-host.
What's good, everybody? This is G, a.k.a. a satisfied DAZN customer. And I'll talk about that later on.
Oh, you lame, G. You walking back on the zone, G. You back.
Hey, listen, man, I show
That's
love.
all it takes to get G back.
Flip-flopping.
Throw a little cash at G and then you get G back. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hands and make G's hands. What up, world? It's the TBE. We got some special.
G went out.
Definitely.
G went out for a little piece of change, man. I never thought I'd see the day. All right. The first topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is AJ leaks that he's fighting Deontay Wilder in December. We're going to take a look at a video circulating the internet. We're also going to look at something Deontay Wilder posted, and then we're going to discuss this in greater detail. But first, here's the video of Anthony Joshua speaking candidly to one of his friends.
Come on, champ.
Living the lane, man. Living life.
Hey, bro, you're going to be bothered, bro.
That's what's happening. You know what's going on.
December.
It's public news, bro. We're getting it down. We're throwing it down in December.
You got to get that W.
God willing. Yeah? And same to you, bro. Make sure you win this year.
All right, so there you have it. Anthony Joshua said it's public knowledge, and he said that's what's happening. 4 days ago, Deontay Wilder posted something on his Instagram. We're going to take a look at it right now. So Deontay Wilder posted on his Instagram. He said, "I'm about to go to war, so I meditate, hoping this boiling water wash away my pain and aches. As the weeks fall and the months roll by, this nice guy ain't so nice. Nah.
To this day,
The universe is speaking, I must obey, while God holds my hands and leads the way.
to this
The
day,
saying is, if a life is taken, then one is created, then might as well reserve a body bag and have a little Deontay on the way."
Bomb Squad.
Hashtag to this day, hashtag Bomb Squad. So that's what Deontay Wilder said 4 days ago. And you heard what Anthony Joshua said. So I'm turning over to you, TBE. What's your reaction to all this?
I like it. You know, I'm sleeping on $1,000 from G, man. You better have my money, G. I'm just telling you that right now. And I love it. I love it. We've been arguing this for so long, like AJ versus Wilder. G had his mouth. He had a mouthful to say about AJ and how Wilder's gonna dominate and devastate AJ. I'm like, G, you just don't see boxing like that. They're like a realist sees boxing, and it's cool. And sometimes, G, you may come out on top, but you came out on the bottom a lot of times, man.
Yo, pause.
Big pause. But I like it. I like that. AJ confirmed it. You know, he confirmed it on that video. But why did those bars was trash? And you guys
I've been watching too much of that new Power book of Book of Ghosts.
Oh yeah, right.
You know,
Ned Tejada over here.
Ned Tejada.
any of those references. But nah, I love it, yo. You gotta understand. This is a closing to a book we have had open for so long. We've been beefing about AJ and Wilder for so long. It's 5-6 years coming, and this is the season finale, or maybe the series, it's just coming to the series finale where we put AJ and Wilder behind us, and we move on to different fighters, but it's been beef, not bloodshed. Well, I shedded some blood, I still got battle scars to prove it, Shout out to Walmart, but G, you don't remember that moment?
Nah.
You don't remember? That's a story
I don't
time for
associate me
another
with
day.
foolishness. You know what I mean?
That's a story time for another day.
Only when it comes to Wilder.
It's just a story for another day. But AJ and Wilder, it's just been a big back and forth between the boxing bros, or between Caden, TVE, and Trail versus G. And and G, you put up a big fight. I ain't gonna lie, you put up a big fight, yo. Even us three couldn't even make G come to reason. And G stays in his lane, and he goes 200 miles per hour, maybe 3,000 miles, because he's over the speed limit at this point. He needs to get stopped for a ticket. But I love it. I want this when it happens, when it's confirmed. Like, we hear from the mouths, we hear from sources, but when it's announced, I am gonna be so satisfied. And I might have to take the week off. This is a celebration right here. This is a moment in history. This is like how much fans, audience, you don't understand how much energy and hate and back and like what's been built up. The build up to this fight? You used to have text threads going on like 3-4 in the morning, talking mess, going back and forth about AJ Wilder payout splits. This is it's perfect. Like, if we could write a book on this fight right here, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. It would be a bestseller.
All right, G.
Man, we need to find out who's AJ Shrink, because we need to get Ned a session, because yo, man, Ned, you sound kind of crazy, bro. I don't know, man, if you can handle this type of fight. It's like, hey, to me, yeah, obviously I want to see that fight, but not as bad as Ned wants to see it. I'm like,
yo, G, stop it. Pause, G. G, cut it off. No, I want you to bring the smoke, G. The smoke.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring the smoke.
No, I don't want you to be
smoke.
like, I don't want you to be Smokey the Bear. I want you to be Smoke Dog. You feel me? I want you to bring the smoke. Because right now you acting like, nah, it's not that serious, yo.
Yo, but Ned, in order for him to bring the smoke, you gotta allow him to cook for a little bit. You didn't even let him cook a little bit.
But I don't like
He didn't do that. So I
don't like this little fake G, yo. You're like, G, bring that smoke, man.
Ah, man, listen. I'm gonna say this. Unlike Ned believes, I think, this is just 100% one-sided fight, right? I always thought it was going to be like 50-50. But now, I'm being honest, now I'm leaning more like 70-30 Wilder's way, because of, AJ's mentality, the things I see AJ do in the ring versus what I see Wilder do in the ring. The mindset matters to me. So, but I will say this. I want the best AJ to show up, just like I want the best Wilder to show up. Because I want this to be like one of those fights where it's like, no matter who wins, no matter who loses, everyone's a winner, Now, of course, I want my money from Ned, but at the end of the day, it's like, I do respect both gentlemen, because I kind of feel like, although AJ was like the face of the division, right? He needed Wilder, for that image, So both of them kind of played hand in hand towards each other's career, And so I don't think like it seemed like what Ned was saying was like, now it's like it's over. You know what I mean? Like this is the last chapter of something of their careers. I don't believe so. I kind of feel like maybe this fight could actually revitalize both gentlemen's careers. And not to mention, let's just say Undisputed does happen. We already know, man, once either Tyson Fury or Usyk gets all the belts, they're going to get relinquished. And then AJ and Wilder's going to get opportunities again to become champions again. So AJ will probably be 3-time champion. Wilder be 2-time champion. So it's not over for these gentlemen, man. So, yeah, man, I just like the fact that they about to fight, and I know I've been critiquing AJ strongly on this show, but it's not like I'm doing it in like real disrespect. You know what I mean? It's, if anything, it's sportsman-like banter, So go ahead, Ned.
I'm not saying it's the final chapter in their careers. I'm saying between the banter, the back and forth between the boxing bros. It's like we've been going back and forth for a long time now. And every time we got excited for the fight, we were let down. And now it looks like it's going to happen. And we don't this is the final chapter for this argument amongst the boxing bros. Like, who is who? Who is the top dog? And G, to be real with you, why does get like you like to like what was it? You like to talk about fighters getting aging and getting old. Wilder's not in his youth no more. He's what? Is he 37? He's going on 38. He probably be 38.
That's perfect for the heavyweight division. So what you saying? That's still prime years.
I'm just saying, man.
I know you're just saying, but you're not
one
thinking.
door's closing while another one's wide open.
Yo, pause yourself again.
is that buzzworthy? Like, what did I just say?
You know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, that is kind of that was fair, G. I'm riding with you on that one. That was fair, Ned. Are you done, G?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
All right. Well, allow me to pour gasoline on this fire. If this fight does happen, great. It's a fight we wanted to see years ago when both gentlemen were undefeated and at the top and were champions. We wanted to see that fight for undisputed when Wilder was undefeated, when Anthony Joshua was undefeated. But let's not forget what happened. Lou DiBella reported that he brought Deontay Wilder to the zone where they offered him a deal of over $100 million and he turned it down. Wilder turned it down to cherry pick a Tyson Fury who had to lose over 150 pounds, who was inactive for 2.5 years, and fought Deontay Wilder as his third fight in 9 months. Those are all facts. You can go look it up. And then when Tyson Fury was getting shaky on giving Deontay Wilder the third fight that he had to go to arbitration for, Deontay Wilder admitted he was offered more money than he made to fight Tyson Fury, to fight Anthony Joshua. And that fight never happened. Now, let's talk about why that fight never happened. Because Deontay Wilder fans believe he deserved 50-50 split with Anthony Joshua back then. Now these same Wilder fans are willing to concede that he doesn't deserve 50-50 with AJ. So what changed? I'm going to tell you what changed. They think Anthony Joshua is ripe for the picking now. They're finally confident now. So now they're saying, oh, Wilder, take less than 50% now just to get AJ in the ring. Why is that? Because they see vulnerability in AJ and they finally believe that Deontay Wilder can win. Those same delusional guys years ago would tell me Deontay Wilder didn't need to train. Run the videos back. It wasn't that I never liked Deontay Wilder. I just said he's a one-trick pony. All he has is a right hand. And I pointed out you can't beat the best fighters in the world with just one punch. And when he fought Tyson Fury, he couldn't. What was Deontay Wilder saying before he fought Tyson Fury? There's a video of someone telling Wilder, oh, if you just learn how to jab, if you just learn how to do this, what did Wilder say to him? Love me, brother. Just love me, brother. That's Wilder's reaction. What was Wilder saying before Tyson Fury sparked him out? They got to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only got to be perfect for 2 seconds. What a difference an ass whooping makes, right? Now Deontay Wilder jumps rope. Now Deontay Wilder jogs. Now Deontay Wilder works on his jab. Now Deontay Wilder works on throwing combinations. Hell, if he was doing that, when I requested that he do that, when that man tried to tell him he should do that, maybe, just maybe, he's able to follow up on Fury after he drops him and finishes Tyson Fury. But no, he has to go back to that same well in order to get results. And by the time he dropped Fury, Fury's alert again, and now it's hard for him to catch Fury with the same punch. So now the Deontay Wilder fans are more confident because Wilder's doing what he should have been doing since he got into boxing. Jogging, jumping rope, training. And I respect that. That's what all fighters should do. If that's your profession, you should take your craft seriously. You should work out. You should do that. So in essence, Wilder hopefully is a better fighter. But that also plays into their confidence as to why they want to see him fight Anthony Joshua now. But that also goes against the people who wanted Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder when they wanted it. When it was more advantageous for them, when they knew Wilder was a one-trick pony. He probably still is a one-trick pony, in all honesty. We don't know because he's had one fight since Fury did him dirty. And in that one fight, the dude didn't land a single punch. So we really don't know where Wilder is. We don't know what Wilder's punch resistance is. We don't know if Wilder can still land that right hand on an agile opponent who has speed himself. We still have a lot of questions with Deontay Wilder. But what's really happening here is these Deontay Wilder guys just think AJ's so vulnerable that Wilder's going to win just from walking in the ring. That's what they think. But I'm here to say what's most suspicious to me is the fact that Deontay Wilder fought Tyson Fury, got knocked out in the 11th round. And then after that, he took a long layoff. He came off that long layoff to fight Robert Helenius. And in his fight with Robert Helenius, he knocked him out, throwing a total of like 3 punches and took no punches. He's taking another long layoff. And now he's going to step in the ring with Anthony Joshua in December. And that doesn't bother you as a Deontay Wilder fan. So he gets sparked out. I don't want to hit. Because remember, he hasn't been hit by an actual punch in combat for probably, I got to look at the numbers, but I'm willing to say like over 2 years. Well over 2 years, Wilder hasn't taken a punch in an actual fight. Wilder hasn't done more than 1 round in an actual fight in over 2 years. That's what y'all are missing. You believe in that right hand so much. The right hand hit a sparring partner, not the former heavyweight champion of the world. Last time he was in there with a former heavyweight champion of the world, he took several of Wilder's right hands and never got knocked out. I'm asking Wilder fans, how can you not see the cash out? How can you not see the cash out? This seems like a cash out, but not just on Wilder, for AJ too. I think both men are at a point where this fight's finally being made because both of their promoters and their managers are willing to cash out now, which says that this fight isn't the fight it would have been years ago. So to me, it doesn't settle any scores. I mean, it'll give us some closure, but this isn't the same fight it was years ago. This, to me, definitely is a cash out for Deontay Wilder when you look at the fact that this dude hasn't gone rounds, hasn't had any fights, hasn't been punched in a professional fight for at least over 10 years. And I'm just estimating it could be even longer because I know he took like at least 19 months off after the fight with Fury or something like that. And ever since he fought Helenius in October, he hasn't been in the ring. And if he's going to go in the ring in December, how is that? So he looks good hitting the pads. The pads don't hit back. He's always looked decent hitting the pads. And then once you throw punches at him, he's sloppy. So I say all that to say, Wilder fans, they're real confident because they think Anthony Joshua is vulnerable, which is why they're willing to accept terms or they want him to acquiesce to terms they were arguing against years ago. They were okay with him avoiding Anthony Joshua years ago to try to fight Fury and then want to hype up Fury. My thing is this. I hope the fight happens. The fight should happen because at this point, neither one of them are going to fight for undisputed, which is a cautionary tale in itself. They both could have made the bag, although Anthony Joshua, in his case, has made the bag over and over again with different opponents. Meanwhile, Wilder, on the other hand, hasn't made Anthony Joshua type money. And so people need to understand, make the big fights when they're ripe. Make the big fights when people want to see it, and the people will support the fight. So this is a perfect time for Wilder Joshua. Regardless of who wins, I hope we get to see it. But for the Wilder fans running around here with their little false sense of confidence, I know where it's coming from. Anything else for anyone to add? Go ahead, G. I want G to get in here. Go ahead, G.
I object to the whole thing. You know what I mean? It was a cute theory, but in reality, who's gonna deny $100 million? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm speculating. I don't know how much they're gonna give Wilder, but I'm assuming it's around $100 million for this fight, bro. That's life changing. I don't think Wilder's and Wilder's team just like, yo, you know what? We just gonna cash out and forget about Wilder. It's more of Wilder. This could be your second chance right here. You know, like we could win over the hearts, the minds, the souls of boxing fans all over the world, bro, by beating AJ. Like this is his opportunity. So I don't think Wilder's viewing it as, or Wilder's team's viewing it as, yo, it's just a payday. If I lose, it's whatever. I think he really wants to win. I think Malik Scott really wants him to win. You know, obviously PBC wants Wilder to win. It's beneficial for their company for Deontay Wilder to be victorious.
So why they rejected the first time?
Though, because the first time, remember, it was a 3-fight deal. They wanted Wilder to take a 3-fight deal, and then remember, right after that 3-fight deal, when Wilder lost to Fury, they gave Fury a 1-fight deal for $100 million. That's not fair, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, I hear what you're saying, right? But if Wilder's like, hey, I know my worth, and he's going for what his worth is, I respect that. And now look at it. Fast forward, even after a loss, he's still getting the same money that he's been offered before when he was undefeated.
I don't know how much money that they've been offered for the fight.
You know they're getting banked, man. They getting banked.
I don't know. I don't know if it's more than a deal, because remember, the 3-fight deal, he was going to have to fight Dominique Brazil anyway. He was going to make $20 million to fight Dominique Brazil. He made a lot less fighting Dominique Brazil as not being a part of that deal. Then he fought Tyson Fury, which he didn't make $100 million for 2 fights with Tyson Fury, which is what he would have made for 2 fights with Anthony Joshua.
I think you misunderstood what I was saying. What I'm saying is, remember, he wanted, remember with Wilder and AJ, right? When they were first trying to get that thing popping, DAZN or Matchroom, whatever, was like, hey, Wilder, here's a 3-fight contract for $100 million, right? That's for 120. That's for 3 fights, though.
Yes.
But the same guys offered Tyson Fury to fight AJ $100 million for 1 fight. You don't see how it's not equal, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, if Wilder's like, yo, I deserve more money than this,
but you're not factoring in when they offered Tyson Fury $100 million. He had already had the first fight with Deontay Wilder, which boosted both of their profiles because it was all over the sport, because that fight was a classic. And then in their rematch, he had stopped Deontay Wilder in impressive fashion, made Mark Brilliant throw in a towel. So he had boost the stock. He had boost his earning potential in comparison to when they offered Wilder the deal. So you saying like it was somehow a slight to Deontay Wilder's misleading, because Fury actually improved his bargaining position when they offered him $100 million.
Okay, so I could kind of I'll entertain that. But again, you're talking about Fury after 1 fight. After 1 fight, then that just guaranteed him $100 million to fight AJ. That's kind of wild to me. But okay,
it boosts his profile. And not only that, Tyson Fury has accolades that Deontay Wilder didn't have. Like, for example, Fury was the one who beat Vladimir Klitschko and relieved him of the belts that AJ was in possession of. Fury is also seen as the lineal heavyweight champion, which makes him the man who beat the man, which meant that if AJ were to beat Tyson Fury, he would have not only have been undisputed, he also would have been lineal. So there were perks that came with fighting Tyson Fury.
But that's not really my argument. My argument, well, essentially what I'm saying is Wilder refused that initial offer, right? The 3-fight deal. And lo and behold, he's still getting a pretty juicy offer right now, even after a loss. So him holding out actually was beneficial to his career. That's all I was saying, you know.
But
So
how? Like, there's no for me.
He's making money.
Okay, but if he accepts the 3-fight deal, he makes more money. Remember, when he fought Dominic Brazil, they didn't even disclose his purse. And the reason why they didn't disclose his purse was because they knew it wasn't going to be more than a 20 million he would have made had he accepted that 3-fight deal. Then, if he would have fought Anthony Joshua, he would have made 50 million in the first fight against Anthony Joshua. And he would have made 50 million at least in the second fight because the split changed for the second fight. So if he won, he could have made more money. But at minimum, we're just going to go with that minimum, he walks away with 120 million. So he didn't make that fight in Brazil and Fury in 3 fights when he rejected the deal from Tyson Fury. So how is that a better business deal? Also, he would have been fighting for undisputed against the guy who you think's vulnerable. So imagine he knocks out vulnerable AJ before Andy Ruiz does it. He knocks out vulnerable AJ before everyone else does it, makes 50 million, and becomes undisputed, and he knocks out vulnerable AJ again. We will be talking about Wilder as if he's an all-time great right now.
I see what you're saying. However, at that time, nobody knew that AJ was vulnerable anyways, because AJ was undefeated. He seemed unstoppable at the time. But
and
now,
that's my point.
Now, fast forward to today, both gentlemen are coming off of losses. Both gentlemen, right? So essentially, it's like it's almost to the same thing. It's like, yeah, AJ lost, but so did Wilder, right? Like they both lost, and people still don't care. That people still want to see this fight. And so it's like I'm curious to see how much Wilder's going to get paid for this fight in December. But I'm pretty sure it's around. It's more on the over 50 million side, close to 100 million side than, you know, the 20s to 30 millions or whatever. So essentially what I'm saying is for one fight with AJ, he came up, you know what I'm saying? And so it goes, he went from a 3-fight contract that he was trying to negotiate to just a 1-fight big payday. That's a win, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't view it as
not for undisputed, not for
they be all right,
not for all the marbles. The winner's not going to be seen as that guy. Go ahead, TB.
They're gonna be seen as a secondary guy. How about that?
I just want to comment with you earlier. He's like, I don't know why Ned thinks I hate AJ or something like that, or doesn't view the fight as 50-50. G, can you explain in any sense of how AJ could beat Wilder?
Yeah, of course. What are you talking about?
Can you didn't explain, elaborate, because I never heard it out your mouth.
Elaborate. Okay, you're talking about AJ who has knockout power in both hands. You're saying like why I think AJ is not dangerous? I don't understand the question.
No, can you just explain how AJ could beat Wilder? Just besides the knockout hand in both hands or whatever, just can you just see how AJ could beat Wilder in December?
All right, this is why it's tough, because before the Ruiz knockout, right? I would always say all AJ has to do is get into close quarters with Wilder, hit him with an uppercut, Wilder's done, right? Because Wilder's not the best at close quarter combat. But now I don't know if AJ's that confident to actually try to get that close to fight Wilder, you know. But I think if AJ could get past the fear that he has or the hesitation that he has, that's the best bet, because it doesn't make sense for AJ to fight at the tail end of Wilder's punches, because that's where Wilder's the strongest. So if he just makes it like the Klitschko fight, he's fighting Klitschko in close quarters, and he did a lot of damage to Klitschko. He could do the same thing to Wilder. So hence, that's why I was like, AJ's still a dangerous fighter. But my fear of AJ's fear is why I think Wilder has a better chance of winning versus AJ winning. That's just me being objective.
All right.
Is that good enough for you, Ned?
Yeah, that was perfect.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where we left off. But
but what I was saying was, what I left off at was, it's not like it's over for either gentleman. And I understand undisputed is no longer on the table, but again, this is prize fighting. These gentlemen are going to make huge money. And not to mention, they can revitalize their careers. And think about it. Wilder and AJ, I'm pretty sure on every belt, every ranking, they're probably still in the top 3 of every belt. So it's like these guys are going to have opportunities to become champions again. I don't know if they're going to be undisputed, but they're going to be champions again. I'm confident in that. So I don't think it's over for either gentleman. I don't even think DAZN or Matchroom or PBC are cashing out and saying, hey, if you lose, it is what it is, it's over. Like, there's too much money invested in both gentlemen. Even if these dudes lose, it's how they lose. And we spoke about this before. If this becomes like one of those electrifying fights where it's like, yo, that was crazy. Like, even like Klitschko versus AJ was fire. It's like, yeah, Klitschko lost, but it's not like people like, yo, Klitschko got body bagged. It was more like, yo, they went at it. Yo, they actually, 2 warriors went at it and they clashed. That's all AJ and Wilder has to do. Just show up the best of the best. When they come through 100%, just even if they get dropped, fight it, yo. Just try to get back up. People are going to be like, yo, I love these 2 gentlemen. I want to see them fight again. And then voila, they're back at the top again. That's all it is.
Yeah,
these 2 gentlemen are more famous. I still believe this. AJ and Wilder are still more famous than Usyk, both of them. So, yo, I'm telling you, it's not over for these gentlemen. It's just a fact.
So how is it not cashing out? First of all, here I'm gonna show you how it's cashing out. You admit that at the time Wilder was offered the $100 million contract, nobody knew AJ was vulnerable, and they didn't accept it. And from my standpoint, they didn't accept it for that reason, because they knew if AJ would have beaten Deontay Wilder at that time, it would have ended Wilder. Because the theory was that Wilder was already a one-trick pony and Wilder wasn't a serious boxer. So if AJ fights Wilder at that time and he beats Wilder and he becomes undisputed, Anthony Joshua becomes more of the golden goose than he already was. And it solidifies Anthony Joshua, and it only fuels the Anthony Joshua hype train, which, by the way, you talk about how it was a smart move for Wilder. I would argue it was a dumb move for Wilder, because when in Wilder not accepting that contract, Anthony Joshua fights Andy Ruiz, makes $30 million, loses to Andy Ruiz, and practically doubles it in the rematch. Anthony Joshua then fights Alexander Usyk, makes about the same, loses, and then practically doubles it in the rematch. While Deontay Wilder's not making close to that type of money, Anthony Joshua's making that type of money without him. So this goes to show that Anthony Joshua had more options, more leverage, could even take L's and still make bigger money than Deontay Wilder, because Anthony Joshua was taking a risk and giving the people the fights that they want to see. Now, Deontay Wilder, on the other hand, doesn't accept the fight with Anthony Joshua. Instead, he accepts the fight with Tyson Fury. Now, he didn't accept the fight with Tyson Fury when Tyson Fury hopped in the ring and challenged him. He accepted a fight with Tyson Fury after he went on a binge of doing drugs, when he got overweight. Tyson Fury had to lose weight. He fought Francisco Pina and Sefer Sefries, I believe. He fought them within like 3 months of each other. And then in the 9th month, he fought Deontay Wilder. All advantages Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, his team, they're trying to get an easy dub on Tyson Fury and take the status of lineal. So now Deontay Wilder can argue he deserves 50-50 or even 60-40 against AJ, because he's the man who beat the man and he's lineal. Instead, it backfires and Fury beats Deontay Wilder. And then Fury not only beats Deontay Wilder, he stops Deontay Wilder twice, which hurts the air of invincibility that was running around Deontay Wilder, which hurts Deontay Wilder's image. To restore Deontay Wilder, they put him in there with a human punching bag in Brooklyn, New York, who gets knocked out by the first right hand that Deontay Wilder lands, and automatically Deontay Wilder fans run back saying this dude is the massive destructor, all types of things. And then for his next fight, after he hasn't taken a punch in a heavyweight ring, a real punch in a heavyweight ring for over 2 years, they're going to throw him in there with Anthony Joshua. You don't see that as a cash out. When they weren't willing to throw him in the ring with Anthony Joshua when he was undefeated and at the peak of his powers with all his confidence. To me, it's interesting that they're willing to throw him in the ring with Anthony Joshua.
Hold on, a cash out. Just point of clarity: a cash out for Wilder's team or AJ's team?
For both. I'm gonna get. It's a cash out for Wilder's team because if Wilder gets knocked out by Anthony Joshua, I believe it hurts him because he's known as the man with the devastating right hand. He's known as the dude who instills fear in everyone. Again, he does have some highlight reel knockouts, but not against real high-level competition. He dropped Fury, but Fury was dropped by cruiserweights, and Fury's been dropped. So dropping Fury isn't necessarily some accomplishment. In fact, there are people who feel like if Fury actually fought the top dogs, they drop him too. But so far, the two top dogs Fury fought was Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. Everyone else was mediocre at best. So then you got Deontay Wilder. So I feel like if he loses this fight, he's done. Let me get to Anthony Joshua now. Anthony Joshua was making offers to Deontay Wilder and was trying to get that fight going. So I'm not saying that he was running from Deontay Wilder. But here's where it's a cash out for the zone. In his last fight with Jermaine Franklin, everyone was saying if he loses, he needs to retire. He said himself, if he loses, he's going to retire. So if he fights Deontay Wilder and gets absolutely starched by Deontay Wilder, that's going to end his career because there's going to be a portion of fans who will no longer rock with Anthony Joshua based on the fact that he lost the big one. What did that guy say to him? The first thing that guy said to him is, you got to beat Deontay Wilder. And Anthony Joshua was like, yeah, God willing. Because that's what AJ fans are still riding with him with. They're like, yo, you got to beat Deontay Wilder.
Right.
Deontay Wilder fans are saying, you got to beat Anthony Joshua. You and I both know whoever loses that fight is going to lose a huge portion of their fans.
Again, it depends on how they lose. I'm going to be honest. Like, let's just say Wilder lands, like, the lucky right hand right away in the first round, right? Flatlines AJ in the first round. I think people going to be like, yo, that was cool and all, but you got to run it back. You know what I mean? Like, nah, like, because that can happen to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Dog. If Wilder knocks AJ out in the first round, I don't want to see it again.
Nah, yo, come on, son. No. I think AJ's warranted. Warranted a rematch, bro. If he goes out like that. No. And then, yo, you talking to me? Yo, listen, I'm a Wilder fan. I don't want AJ to go out like that. So it's like that happens.
What's going to change in the second fight? Second round knockout?
Yeah, if he went like 9-10 and then Wilder caught him with a right hand after like AJ was like boxing him, then I'll be like, yo, we need a second fight.
Bro, I'm being honest, man.
That scenario, I'll entertain a second fight. Bro, you don't get knocked out in the first round and get a rematch, dog.
Yo, it's just, come on, man. Listen, y'all making me sound like validation. Crazy. Walk with me on this, guys. It's like, because of Wilder's right hand, it's like there's a probability like he could get just snapped and then like it just catches him, right? And then people be like, oh man, AJ's done after that. I'm like, nah, man. Like I would be like, yo, run it back because you never know. Maybe in the next fight, he'll be way more prepared and more alert for that punch. Well, actually, no, that's no excuse because
nah, bro, I'm be honest with you. If Wilder knocks AJ out in the first round, I want to see him fight Usyk or someone else. Like I'm good on seeing it. Like Ned said, if it's a close competitive fight and then Wilder snaps on and then catches him, because then I think, well, he caught him at the right time. What if he's able to avoid the punch? But if AJ gets knocked out in the first round, bro, that's a steamroll. I don't need to see it again. Like to me, I think of Lennox Lewis versus Sheen Rockman, a fight where Sheen Rockman knocked Lennox Lewis out in the second round, and then the rematch, he was able to turn the tide. But that was a little bit different. Anthony Joshua. The vibe on Anthony Joshua is that he is afraid, or he no longer has the hunger to go in there and mix it up. So if he gets knocked out in the first round, that's pretty much putting a stamp on it and verifying it. And that's why I'm calling this a cash out fight. I think this is a fight that both promoters weren't going to make, or at least definitely Deontay Wilder's side. They weren't going to make it years ago. But now, based on where they're both at in their careers, I think they feel like, yo, if we don't make it now, the value of this fight is only going to go down. That's why I'm saying it's cash out. Like they know now, like regardless of what's best for the careers of both fighters, regardless of what's best for the career of AJ, meaning if it's best for him to take another tune-up before Wilder, or if it's best for Wilder to get some activity to break his layoff before he goes in with AJ. They're like, screw all that. We need to make this fight now, because if we don't, the only thing we can do is hurt this fight. And that's why I'm calling it a cash out, because it's reached a point where it's like, if you don't do this fight soon, it's definitely not going to be.
Well, could it be, how about this? Could it be, just point, devil's advocate here, because I can kind of see your point of view, but what if it's the reason why they're just going straight into AJ Wilder for December with no tune-ups in between is because maybe they don't want to risk any injuries and they want these guys to be 100% for this particular fight for December?
No, they're not going in. I'm telling you, see, bro, this is what I'm trying to tell you. They're going into it because the narrative is perfect. Wilder looked explosive in his last fight and AJ looked vulnerable. So that gives the Wilder fans that, yeah, he can knock AJ out. And the AJ fans are kind of worried, but still believe that Anthony Joshua has more skill and has more tools, and that he was always better than Wilder. So it helps the storyline to go into it now. Say they have tune-ups. Who's Wilder going to fight in the tune-up? Who's AJ going to fight in the tune-up?
They could grab any.
But my point is, what if one of them doesn't look too good in the tune-up fight? And what is that going to do? Remember, AJ was supposed to knock out Franklin. He didn't knock out Franklin. But it ends up helping the storyline with Wilder. Because if AJ would have knocked Franklin out cold, I feel like people would still be favoring him. Like, he would be a massive favorite going into a fight with Deontay Wilder. But now that he looked vulnerable against Franklin, there are people who used to think he would beat Wilder who are starting to be like, yo, Wilder might get him.
Which makes no sense, because Wilder and Franklin don't fight anything alike.
Well, no, but not that. But you start to think about, he's timid in that ring against Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's Wilder in that ring? Now, we know you're not supposed to go off of fights that way, but let's be real. Like, that's how the masses look at it. That's how
the optics of it.
Look at it. Yeah. So it's like, yo. So to me, the fact that they're willing to just throw both men in there in December, no tune-ups, Wilder been off for a long time. AJ didn't necessarily thrill everyone with his performance, although he won. Respect to him. I'm just like, it just seems like a cash out, bro. To me, it just seems like both sides got together and was like, yo, the value of this fight only decreases from here.
Which is correct.
Yeah. And this is the time where they can make the fight, and the winner of that fight can say, yo, Usyk, Fury, fight me.
Yeah. That's what
I'm saying. This is the cash out, bro. I'm just telling you, bro. It's the cash out.
Cash out just has a negative.
It is what it is, bro. You know it is what it is, bro.
Gee,
nah, it sounds
right,
though.
It's a cash out, dog.
Most money this fight's gonna make at this point in time, yo. If it happens,
I agree. It's not a bad thing, though. That's a good thing.
It is, bro. But you and I both know,
like, cash out statement. That's it.
See, the loser of this fight, I'm not saying they go obscurity, but the loser of this fight loses a tremendous amount. Because, yo, I always argued, like, okay, AJ, Wilder, Fury, Usyk. The loser of this fight is automatically eliminated from that. The loser of this fight in the history of boxing is going to be rated under. You understand? Like, this is going to solidify your place as, like, 4th or 5th of this era if you lose that fight. And you're going to lose a lot of fans. If Wilder loses to Anthony Joshua, you know the storylines and of all his supporters, all his YouTube channels who backed him, they're all going to be salty. They're all going to be disappointed. They're all going to be like, yo, this dude let us down. Same goes for all the AJ channels and all the people who support AJ. If he loses to Wilder, it's going to be like, okay, this dude let us down. And they're not going to rock with him the same. You and I both know that.
Walk with me on this. Let's just say hypothetically, Wilder beats AJ, but then AJ fights the loser of Usyk Fury, and then AJ beats that loser. I think he's back in it. He's automatically back in it because people are gonna be like, yo, yeah, he lost to one great guy, but he beat another great guy. They're all up there. They're the elites of the elites. You know what I mean? So it's not like AJ's trash. that wasn't his day. It wasn't his night. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, but listen to what you're saying. In your hypothetical, AJ gets a key victory. The same goes for both of them. If you get a marquee win, that puts you back in it. That goes for anyone. Zayn got in it with a marquee win.
Yeah,
you can be out of it. You get it.
It's not officially over for either gentleman.
I'm talking about the cash out, bro. Like, I'm talking about this fight that's been marinating for years that has never been made, and why all of a sudden it's made when none of us even expected it. All of a sudden they're talking about it's made when it's not the best time for Wilder and it's not the best time for AJ. Now, I get the Wilder fans feel AJ's vulnerable, so they're like, okay, we want Wilder to go in there. But as someone who looks at it from a boxer's perspective, Wilder's timing, all that's in question because he hasn't really fought. He fought Robert Helenius. He's probably sparring, but that's not the same as fighting arguably the second best fighter you're ever going to be in the ring with to this point.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. I actually agree with you too. For the simple fact is, AJ's with a new trainer. They only had one fight together, and now his next fight is gonna be against Wilder. That seems a little odd.
Thank you.
But unless these two gentlemen just really want to fight each other, then I'd be like, yo, it's just bad blood, dog. They just want to get it out their system. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you what happened. They got these dudes in a room. They said, what are our options? They said the options. They told them how much they would make for those options. And they were like, but if you fight Wilder, this is how much you'd make. And they said to Wilder, but if you fight AJ, this is how much you make. And Wilder said, yo, I'll take that fight. I don't care if I lose. That's good money. AJ said, I'll take that fight. I don't care if I lose. That's good money. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And they both said, yo, I'm sure Eddie Hearn was probably like, but, you could use another fight with Derek James. And AJ was like, forget all that. Give me the bag. And I'm sure they said to Wilder, you remember last time Wilder listened to all that loyalty stuff or whatever, and Wilder said, yo, give me that AJ money and pay me up front, and then we got to fight. I'm telling you, it's a different, bro. This is.
You might be right, man.
I'm telling you, it's different.
I'm just playing devil's advocate, man. I got enough respect for both gentlemen to believe they just really in their heart of heart, they just want this fight. You know
I believe that they wanted it. They've been wanting it.
Yeah.
I believe they've been wanting it. I'm not one of those dudes who run around like, oh, fighters are scared of each other or whatever. I believe Wilder's team was trying to come up with a play to get him at least 50-50 in a fight with Anthony Joshua for Undisputed, and it backfired. That's what I think they were trying to do. So I think that's what happened with Fury. Because if Wilder would have beaten Fury, say Fury doesn't rise up in that 12th round, and Wilder gets that spectacular knockout, we're talking about 50-50 now.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Wilder for Undisputed. So it almost worked. But it just so happens Fury got up. So I don't think Wilder was scared. But I do think they're both to the point where they're like, yo, I'm willing to sacrifice my career for this bag at this point in my career. I do think it's a cash out both ways. I'm just saying, like, to me, it's like both guys are saying, like, yo, if this is the value, this is where it's at, the value's only going to decrease based on where we're at. If we take
I feel you. I was just arguing with the simple fact I didn't like the term cash out, just seeing too negative of a connotation.
Cash out's not a bad thing. I wish Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford would cash out. Because the value of that fight is plummeting. Like
that one, you see, that one is like people don't really even talk about it. That's how you know nobody.
Yeah, that's my. And this is where AJ and Wilder's at. They at that same point with this fight.
I think
yes,
people
they are, bro. People
right way more than TC Bud. You know what I mean? TC and Spence, man. That's what.
Yo, but bro, it used to be some people used to argue all the time. Nobody's arguing this fight like that no more. It's like, yo, now that it seems like we're actually gonna get it, people getting excited again. You feel me? No one's talking about Bud and TC, but if they made an official announcement in like a week from now, people will be talking about it again because people are tired of investing their energy in something they don't even believe is going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, you got that.
And like Caden like to call it, pie in the sky. Yo, we don't like to hear it. We don't like to see that.
That's right, yo. We want the pie on the plate.
Not.
You know what I mean?
on your face.
We want the fish and chips on the plate. You know what I'm saying?
Watch your mouth. We want wild wings for dinner.
We eating wild wings served with a side of G tears.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
We shall see. We shall see.
Hey, I'm gonna be real with you before we end. A few of us might cry this fight. Stretch,
Like, yo, pause
me,
yourself.
or G.
No, yeah, the AJ fans are gonna cry. I know that.
A few of this, yo, G. Be real with yourself. We're gonna shed a tear to this fight. We're gonna shed a tear.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty confident Wilder's gonna win. So I'm just being real with you.
I'm pretty confident AJ's gonna win.
Yo, you already talking about tears, bro. So you
I'm
not
saying,
confident. You already preparing yourself mentally for this.
In
feud,
regards to
you know
you, I'm straight. I'm straight. You know me, man. I'm
Yo,
a
Ned,
card.
that money better not bounce, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just have my bread. That's all I'm saying.
Amen. Watch your mouth.
All right. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can check out our podcast on all major streaming services. Please like, share, and subscribe. And you're not going to want to miss the next segment where we discuss AJ talking about his mentality in the ring after we just spent this time talking about the potential big clash between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. We are the Boxing Bros.